Kyle Klingman here, the director of the Dan Gable Museum here in Waterloo, Iowa, and he helped set up this whole big George Tragos Thez Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, and he's letting us record the events of this weekend, so we appreciate that. But do you want to give a bit of a rundown for the wrestling fans watching, what they can expect this weekend as far as who's getting awards and what some of the activities are?
First thing you can expect is a fan-friendly event where fans and celebrities in professional wrestling can interact freely, and I think that really sets us apart from any other event. It's unique because we're all part of the same team, and I really think that's special. It's great to have you come down, film this, be a part of it. And for our induction class, this is the 20-year anniversary. It coincides with the 70-year anniversary of the NWA being formed in Waterloo, Iowa. So a couple milestones happening here. What a great way to do that with Dan Severn going in this year. He was an NWA champion. Adam Pearce was a 5-time NWA champion. He is our master of ceremonies for the banquet. Then we get to recognize Owen Hart. What a legacy with his family. Bret Hart has gone into the Hall of Fame already. Stu Hart's been inducted, so this is the 3rd family member inducted into our Hall of Fame. Booker T is getting the Thez Award for benevolence. He's done a lot of great work outside the ring, along with Bruiser Brody getting the Frank Gotcha Award. Our Mixed Martial Arts Award goes to Ben Askren. He was a 2-time NCAA wrestling champion for Missouri. It's great because George Tragos is part of creating the Missouri program. Koji Miyamoto is getting our Jim Melby Award for journalism. So across the board, just an outstanding class.
And do you guys have I know you have an official website. You want to tell people the official website, so if they can't make it this year, of course they can watch it on the Hannibal TV, but for next year, if they want to start making plans to attend this event next year.
Go to nwhof.org. That stands for National Wrestling Hall of Fame, so nwhof.org. There's a tab for Waterloo, so click on that, and then there's the George Tragos Thez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame tab. It gives you all the information. You can read up on past inductees and when they went in, so that's the go-to spot to learn more about our organization and this weekend.
And what makes this Hall of Fame so special? I know it's associated very closely with amateur wrestling, but do you want to tell us, in your opinion, what makes this Hall of Fame so special? Every Hall of Fame is something, but to me, this one is one of the most important ones.
I think 3 things separate it. I think number 1, when you have Dan Gable's name attached to it, it just lends itself to a certain degree of credibility because Dan is the icon in our sport. So many professional wrestlers recognize him as that, appreciate that they get to be part of a museum named after him. That's number 1. Number 2 is that you're inducted by your peers. So we are out of the selection process. This is all past inductees, honorees that vote for Hall of Fame members. I think that really is a special element to our Hall of Fame. And you have to have a pretty huge background in amateur wrestling or athletics to get into the Hall of Fame. Some of the other awards have different criteria, but to actually get inducted like Owen and Dan Severn did, it really does take a unique skill set, a unique background to get in. So if you just were a great worker, it might not get you in because you didn't have that athletic or wrestling background. So those are the 3 things that separate us from other Hall of Fames.
And of course you have an actual physical Hall of Fame here in Waterloo, Iowa, which some Hall of Fames don't. And we're in the wrestling room right now where Dan Gable instructs occasionally. You want to tell us a little bit about what goes on in this wrestling room? This is our Dan Gable Teaching Center. It's on the back of where we are right now, but where we are, this is a small wrestling room. We're actually going through the process of a renovation, so that wall right there is going to be torn down, and this is going to be triple the size. We're going to have workout equipment. I actually have a sauna back here that we use, full locker room. So this is a development center. This is an opportunity for young wrestlers to get inspired through the museum, but then they also get to develop their skills in this wrestling room. So an important piece of what we're doing, be a multi-use center, and can't wait for the renovation. Now, I know you are obviously an amateur wrestling fan living in Iowa. Yeah. What do you think about, in the past there wasn't really anywhere for amateur wrestlers to go, but now so many of them are going into the UFC and doing great, like Daniel Cormier right now is tearing it up. What do you think about those new opportunities for amateur wrestlers? I think mixed martial arts is professional wrestling, so I think the next step
for our baseball players to go to the major leagues. NBA, when you're in college, you go to the NBA. I think that is now the opportunity for a lot of these college wrestlers. That's their next step. So if you're looking at the major leagues, I think mixed martial arts is the logical next step. Some of these guys are on the cusp of being the Olympic caliber, not quite there. They have a great opportunity to make some money going to the mixed martial arts, and they've done extremely well. As an example, this year, Ben Askren going in, he's welterweight champion. He retired. He might come out for a fight against George St. Pierre if that can happen or materialize. But I love mixed martial arts. I think it's fantastic. Universally though, I've talked to a lot of mixed martial artists about this. They still say that wrestling is harder than mixed martial arts because you have to be on, there's an explosiveness to it. You can actually take a little bit of breaks in mixed martial arts because you can be on your back and fight through that. You can stay calm. Boy, in wrestling, you have that referee on you the whole time and you have to have constant action. So, two very difficult sports. Wrestling's a great springboard into mixed martial arts. Love it.
And to close this off, you want to just tell us the social media for the Dan Gable Hall of Fame here?
At Wrestling Museum is our Twitter account. You can go to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum for our Facebook. Dan Gable Wrestling Museum is our Instagram. And I think that covers what we have for social media.
That's excellent. Well, he's definitely my favorite amateur wrestler of all time and an inspiration. So thanks a lot for talking to us, and good luck this weekend with your events.
Hey, appreciate it. Love the Iowa Hawkeye hat there. Maybe we can get a Team Canada hat. I don't know if you know who Daniel Agali is. He's probably your greatest.
I actually wrestled him in a practice once.
Okay, he was tough, man. He wrestled an Iowa Hawkeye named Lincoln McElravy. So a lot of history with Canada and the United States, but love the history you guys have. Appreciate what you do.